Hey everybody, it's Target Prime Rib here. Uh, my screen. Oh, that's better. All right. I know I said I was going to do a walk-in talk. Unfortunately, uh, something happened with my connections, and I was not able to do the live walk-in talk. I probably have to get a better phone or something, or I don't really know. Um, So I figure I would, since I said I was going to do a live, I figure I would come on and do it through StreamYard because I'll be honest with you, when I came on the computer with YouTube, they were actually having me have a hard time. So it might be a YouTube thing, believe it or not. I don't really know, but a promise is a promise. I do have about 40 minutes left. If I go over, then I'll find out if there's a charge and deal with it. But I will have somebody on with me. I can even have somebody on right now during the 40 minutes. If anybody wants to join in or anything like that. If anybody, let me actually do an invite. I don't know how many people would want to be coming on. Matter of fact, I don't see anybody on here. But just in case, I'll put the link into the chats. Be kind of like a phone call, I guess. If anybody wants to just say hello, you're more than welcome. If not, I'll stay on for a while. Like I said, I have about 40 minutes on this. If I go a little bit over, I will see, because it might not be as much as I think. So it might be a good test for me to just see by a little bit, like it's like few, like whatever it is. And if it's a lot, then maybe it's worth it for me to upgrade to the next stream. And that might be what I end up doing. I might end up just upgrading to the next thing. You know how it is. We're going to make it work. We're going to make this work. I'm hoping that I can do the walk and talk. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Like I said, I think it might have something to do with YouTube on this particular case, though, because when I did both the phone and the computer, it wasn't allowing me to connect with the YouTube, and just kept on going back and forth. I was able to connect for a little bit and had Graham, Carnivore Transformer, he actually chatted with me a little bit and said about how green outside was and everything like that. So we go from there. So today, I'm not really sure what I want to talk about today. Like I said, I do have to eventually go and take my nap. I like to wake up usually by no later than 6, so then I can basically cook, at least for him, at least for my roommate, cook his dinner and and everything. So I know this was unexpected, and like I said, I'm only doing this because it cut out on me when I was doing my live with the walk and talk. So hopefully it's not too disappointing that we're not doing the walk and talk. It's just the feed kept on cutting out with the YouTube. Hopefully it's just a glitch, and everything will be solved. Because I would actually like to do, I think that'd be kind of cool. But I'll be honest too, my legs were sort of starting to give out a little bit, and with me working tonight, I didn't want to take any chances. So it all worked out. Things always work out, no matter how hard it seems. It seems like there's always a reason for everything. Hmm. So far, there's nobody on here, so either no one notices the Oh, hey Rick, how you doing? It works now. Good. I'm glad. I mean, like I said, I'm just basically going on here for a little bit. You know, like I have 40 minutes left on my month, but I might actually, if I go over, that's fine too. Hey Tim, how we doing? That's cool. I'm glad that you guys saw this. So, well, isn't that the best time to catch it, Tim? On a break? Yeah, I tried doing walk and talk live before, but like I said, I tried doing it from YouTube instead of StreamYard, and unfortunately, it just wasn't doing. So I think it was a YouTube thing because no matter what platform I used, it wasn't working. Oh, okay. I'm doing okay, Tim. Had a couple setbacks yesterday. My CGM actually ran out, and I've been trying to get new ones to come in, but they kind of like gave me like a hard time. So I finally have got the order in. Luckily, one of the other carnivores is nice enough to give me a few of his extra ones. So I'm not without, except like he'll be in my house by tomorrow. So I just have the one day that I have to prick myself, and then have a little bit of issues with the job. The ride I was using is pretty much no more. Long story, like pretty long story. So but it's so I might have to like either relocate or just leave the job, like not work at all because it's too expensive to be taking Uber to the job. It's about $200 a week, and I only make about 240, so it's not really worth it. So one of the things I'm thinking about doing is maybe just my belt a little bit and oh hey, it's Rick.
Ah, does this work?
Hey Rick, how we doing?
Not bad. Just here at the junk place.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See if this mobile device will work.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was trying to do too. I was trying to test out my phone, and instead of doing it from StreamYard, I thought I would try to do it from the YouTube. The only problem I have with it is whether or not I can actually bring people on. But I thought at the very least we could just do like walk and talk. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
the Wi-Fi kept on going out, so it was
Yeah,
just.
that's
But
it.
when I tried it on the
Yep.
computer with YouTube, it went out then too. So I think it might be a
Wow.
problem with YouTube. Like it just seemed a little strange that it was happening in both ends. Like at first I thought it was the park, but then I thought, well, maybe not.
Right. Well, I'm using this old phone that I have. It seems to be working.
Yeah, I mean I see it pretty well.
Yeah, and you can see my little
I
monster.
know you look a little disheveled compared to how you usually are, but that's fine.
Well, I've been outside. I've been working
Yeah.
in the heat.
Well, you usually have like those nice like picnic shirts and.
Yeah. Well, I've been outside working in this disaster of a yard. And then
Oh,
now I
okay.
got to face the beast. The beast is here.
Of course. You got to teach Milton how to make its own food and stuff like that, just so you don't have to worry about it.
Well, he likes to hang out by the door.
And teach him how to hunt iguanas.
Well, he hunts little lizards, that's for sure. But iguana, oh, there he goes. What do you want? You want to go out? You silly pest. Come on. Here you go. Go on. There you go, little monster. In my disaster garage.
Oh, God.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this cat. Come on. Yeah, you can see my garage is a total disaster.
It looks like my grandparents' house when I was younger.
Well, around here everything's old, so that's not hard to imagine. Hey,
well,
buddy.
for them when it went into their house, it obviously wasn't old, but by the time I got to it, it was pretty old.
Yeah, come on. Here's the monster. What? Here's the monster. Here's the monster. There you go. You hear? There we are.
Yeah, it says here that Tim he has an Android after the last update. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi is hit or miss.
Ah.
That he hopes they patch it up quickly.
Okay. Boy, this cat is fast. All right, little buddy. What? Move it.
Yeah, no, because if I could do the walk and talk, I might actually, instead of doing videos, just go right to live and just have people chat whenever, and maybe do it like for maybe an hour a day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's any limit when it comes to YouTube. I think StreamYard's the only one that limits you.
Yeah, I don't think there's any limit. There's no limit to YouTube.
No, that's what I mean. So, like I said, the only problem I have is I can't put anybody on the panel. So what I was thinking was maybe doing like twice a month at 2 hours instead of 1 hour for the StreamYard, and have people have guests on like we've done before, and then maybe like have like once a day, like, or every other day or whatever, and do like a walk and talk with YouTube.
Good idea.
I thought that might be a good idea, because I mean, like, I'm just running out so many ideas when it comes to, like, I don't know. Like my last video was going to be like, well, this was, this is a recap of what happened on the live that I just did. And it's sort of like, well, why am I doing a recap on a live that I just did? That's kind of redundant,
Right. I know what you mean. Let me see. What? Still talking to me, this cat. Let me see if this stick will work. Here we go. There we are.
So, did you cut out? I guess we lost Rick for a little bit. His thing still says he's on. It's black and he can't hear me, so he probably just unplugged for a bit. So that's happened to me before too, Tim. Sometimes you have to refresh it.
That's weird.
All right, so you're on here twice now, Rick.
Yeah, let me see what happened
So
here.
I'm going to remove the other one because I don't think there's really a need for two of you. Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, now it's saying to add you to the stage again. I'm not adding you to the stage. You're already here.
There you go.
Yeah, Tim was saying that he tapped the like button, and it's highlighted, but the count is still 0. So I told him sometimes you have to refresh the page to get it to go to where you need to.
Right.
That
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Lewis actually surprised me when he was able to show me how to put what do you call it? Like sort of like a picture, for the meetup that we're going to be going to, and he put it on the screen, and we were able to actually add that to this. I figured out how to do that. So like you could actually like put like something like a video or something like that, add it to my thing, and then I could put it on where we get moved over and the screen is like right there. Like we could share the screen. I didn't know how to do that. So
what I'm trying to do is set up a mobile device, because as you know, I do these extra long live streams. So I put a couple of Wi-Fi repeaters in the house. I got one over there, and then I got another one on the other side. I got it set up like a mesh network. And what I'm going to try to do is when I do my live streams, when I start working on my truck, for example, putting in the engine or working around the yard, they'll be able to see that in addition to just me being in, the bedroom or here in the living room.
Right. Yeah. Aaron just joined us. Yeah, there was a problem, Aaron, with it. She said she's going to listen. Okay.
That's good.
Just whistle while you work, okay, Aaron? So then that way.
Here, Milton, what are you doing? Come on. There's my little Milton. Look at that little monster. Look at that little monster. He's a little monster.
Yeah, I mean, on the other one, I was able to get Graham on there. Graham, Target Transform. Yeah, Carnivore Transformer.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually saw me walking in the park for just a little bit.
Oh,
so I was able to get out and go in the park. I just, unfortunately, my legs started getting like really bad pain. So I figure with me working tonight, I might not want to push it too much.
Right.
That's an interesting story, Tim. I actually, this actually used to be my mom's hat, and she got it back when I was in high school, like probably about 15, 16 in New York. So a lot of people think it has to do with Trump, but it has nothing to do with him. He was not even close to being, for presidency or anything like that. I don't even think he even thought about it at that time. So, so when she passed away, I just thought I needed a hat. And so I grabbed this one, put it on, and it just became kind of like the marker for
Bad Kitty.
It just became the marker for my channel, basically.
It's good. That's good.
It also keeps my bald head hidden too.
I don't have that problem, thankfully.
No. I mean there are some like patches growing a little bit more, but
I don't know if it'll ever come back. I mean, I think once it's gone, it's gone. But what difference does it make?
I have said goodbye to it. I just I wouldn't mind,
I don't think it really makes any difference. I mean,
no, it doesn't. It doesn't really.
Health-wise, it makes no difference.
No, I mean, people don't like or hate you any less anymore, whether you have hair or not.
Mm-hmm.
Hair today, gone tomorrow, basically.
There you go. Yeah. I was just cleaning some of my pots. I used my old technique. The stuff in my house is quite basic compared to your typical home.
Holy Clorox. I haven't heard that. I've seen that in a while.
Yeah, borax.
Oh, borax. I'm sorry. Why did I say Clorox for? Probably because you covered up the B and the O, so I just figured it said CLO.
Yeah, I use borax to clean out, for sterilizing containers. I got to make some yogurt, and I got to make sure I keep the yogurt containers in my old oven. And you can see I use these jars. That's what I use for making yogurt.
Oh, okay.
So I get those cleaned up, and then.
Now, how long is your process for making yogurt? Like, how long would you say it takes you from start to finish?
Well, 24 hours. The first thing I got to do, I got to clean out, the pot. So I clean the pot, and then I'm kind of poor, so I don't really have any fresh milk right now. So I'm going to use powdered milk, and I have a bunch of powdered milk that somebody gave me. So what I'm going to do is clean this pot, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the pot on the old stove, and then I'll let the water boil. And then once the water boils, I'll turn off the fire. I'll put the powdered milk in there and start stirring it until it gets the correct consistency. Then what I do, I use these jars, which I don't know why this thing is in the way, but a bunch of these ball jars of different sizes. And then after I mix the powdered milk to make the hot milk, I pour it in these jars, as many as it takes to fill them, and I let them sit there until they cool to the point where I can actually hold this jar without burning my hand. Then I get just regular yogurt from like Aldi or whatever else. And this place is a disaster. Oh, where's the yogurt? Here it is. See, just use the Aldi whole milk yogurt as a starter. Okay. And it's very easy to make yogurt. Let's see, I'm almost out of it. And by the way, I have my beef tallow that I refine from cooking burgers and stuff like that. I filter that out. I put it in these containers. I use that for frying my eggs. And I also use it for heart attack chicken. I got a bag of chicken in there to make some heart attack chicken. So that's going to be in the way. My cat over here knocked this over. What did you do? All these old books and stuff. I need to throw this crap away. Actually, it's garbage day today. And there's nothing in the can. That's the one thing about being a carnivore. You hardly throw anything else away.
That's true. I mean, the word leftovers is like pretty far and few in between. So.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time there was a leftover. That's a good point.
Yeah.
When I used to cook for my mother, leftovers were a common thing. But
and you know what? Even if you do have leftovers, carnivore leftovers are so much better than the sad leftovers, because just everything tastes like this. When it comes to sad diet, the carnivore eating, like reheating stuff, is just so stale and so But if you you could just eat the meat cold. You don't even have to worry about heating it up.
That's a good point. I do that all the time. That's a really good point. In fact, when I make my ground beef stew, if I make extra, I take it with me to work. And what I do, I use these containers. I have these stainless steel containers.
Oh, okay.
They typically have these plastic lids that you can snap on, and then you just put that on there, and then you put it in your truck. You can put it in a cooler, or you could just leave it in the truck, and it stays cold if it's frozen.
Yeah.
And then when it's time to eat, you either eat it cold, or you could just lay it on the engine while you're working. And then when you do that, it'll be warm by the time you go out there.
Yeah.
So it's like the easiest thing ever. It doesn't take any effort whatsoever.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I haven't done it yet because I haven't traveled too much, but you probably could just get a small cooler and just pretty much chop up the burger cookies and just have little bites of for traveling, just little bites of burgers,
Well, that's what I do. I actually have one of those small diaphragm type compressors that you can run directly off the battery. It's not one of the semiconductors. And I have a cooler.
Better.
Yeah, I keep it by the front seat of my truck, and I have it plugged in. My truck's a diesel, so it has 2 batteries. So it's pretty easy. You just wouldn't want to leave it on all day. You can unplug it to your battery, but it won't go dead. I've never had the batteries go dead from that yet. And then it just keeps everything frozen. Or you can keep it cool. You can turn the temperature up.
I know they have them now where you can hook them to your cigarette lighter, basically.
Yeah, they do. Those are the thermal, what do they call those? They're a thermal effect semiconductor. But the ones that I use, they have a little compressor. It's like a little diaphragm compressor. It's older technology, but they were very common. And I use that all the time. It's really handy, I have to admit. Let me see if I can get out of here without little Milton sneaking out. Nope, you're a bad kitty. No. Yep, I'm faster than Milton. He can't get around me.
So I'm assuming that you saw in the chats earlier where I mentioned about how the car that I'm using for work is no longer going to be available for me. So I pretty much may have to leave my job and either hopefully get the job that's right by my house, or I have to kind of just rethink things. So I'm hoping
Someone's learning to drive.
How can you tell?
Well, it's a Metro Traffic School car.
I'm just joking.
And the other thing is, it's a friend of mine. His buddy owns that company. The guy's made a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Metro Traffic. Yeah, Metro Traffic School. Look at that. Bananas. I'm Chiquita Banana, and I'm here to say. And look what else I got in my yard. Traffic light.
Oh, that's cool.
Air. Payphone.
My sister actually has. She doesn't have it like you do, but she actually has the phone booth from Superman.
Oh, okay.
In her she has it behind her cabana bar, hidden, not even shown. I'm you're wasting your. You need to show that off. That's a pretty interesting find,
Look what I have on my roof.
A pig.
That came out of the old barbecue place, Dixie Ribs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When
That's
they
cool.
went to demolish it, I got that. And I
So
keep
show Erin
bicycles.
says that she loves having meat cookies in her fridge. I can imagine. Do your kids eat meat cookies at all, Erin?
Meat cookie actually sounds appetizing because regular cookie sounds disgusting.
Right. So you can turn like I know I tried, but I have to try it again because it just hard-boiled eggs. Yeah, that's a really good snack, a go-to snack too. Just I like to put a little salt on it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I make my carnivore deviled eggs sometimes, which is instead of mayonnaise, I use sour cream.
That's good. I can't believe this is still working.
What? Oh, your phone's doing good, Rick. A lot better than mine did. Mine didn't last long at all. I think the only reason Graham got on it was because I think he was waiting for me to go on. He was just like at the ready,
Okay.
Yeah.
There, it's back.
I mean, so far, I think Tim left.
Flaky.
I think Tim left. So right now it's just Aaron, you, and me.
Yeah. I'm beginning to see the limits of my signal here.
Oh, really? I mean, it seems okay to me, but
yeah,
like you're not like bouncing off or anything.
Yeah,
like
I went down around the backyard. I mean, there's. Oh, that's good. So I guess you can still see me. Got my banana trees. This is.
Do you have many people that
look at all
that require your bananas?
Oh, my friends love the bananas. They're their favorite. Look at that. Banana tree blew over a couple weeks ago in the storm. So I went ahead and just propped it up.
So those bananas are the way they're supposed to be, not all like modified from the food company. These are all natural, correct?
Yeah, because the ones they sell commercially are picked green like this and then shipped and then artificially ripened. These bananas ripen on the plant, and then I give them to my friends. So they don't really, there's no shipment. In fact, this is probably the ultimate environmentally responsible bananas because they never leave. I mean, other than giving to them in person, they never leave to go transporting anywhere.
Yeah, which obviously makes you a lot better than the other guy, than those guys.
I have no problem growing bananas and growing fruits and vegetables. I have no problem with my mangoes. Got the mamey tree. I got all kinds of fruits and vegetables. I got sea grape. I got cherry. All kinds of stuff. I think it's important that everybody should grow some plants because if you think about it, even if we don't eat it, somebody else will or an animal will.
Yeah.
So I think
the only reason why I go is because I live in the apartment, and it's even though I could grow something, first off I don't really have a green thumb, so things die whenever I grow them, and being not really in a yard environment, it's just a little bit more problematic. I probably will eventually figure it out, but you have to be kind of a little bit more limited. So, but right. I know Aaron grows plants, and I know you grow plants. So, I think that's I think it's pretty cool because I think that's really the only way that we're going to be able to make the plants to be healthy is to just grow them ourselves, and that way we can prevent any contamination that comes from big pharma, big business.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Phone call here.
Like I've said before, one of the things I'd like to grow. Hello?
Yeah. Oh, I got an error. I must have lost you.
You lost me, or you lost the guy on the phone?
I don't know. Did I break up at all?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm just walking around the yard to see how far this signal will go. I guess the Wi-Fi is powerful. Mm. But I got an error.
Yeah.
I don't know. The dial tone's messed up.
Oh, well. Yeah, you're fine on my end. Excellent. I can't speak for the audience, but you're fine on my end.
Well, I'm sure when they see me looking like this, they'll be scared away because I'm just in my usual work.
Is that
Work
why it's only
outfit.
Aaron? And is that why it's only you, me, and Aaron?
That's right. Figured it's a good experiment.
Like, not even Sandy's here because Rick is scaring her away. Yeah, my picture looks a little weird. I kind of like I have no I'm like looking at it and sort of looks like I have like a green screen behind me, but it's not. It's actually the real picture. So it's kind of weird that I have that like kind of like thin line behind, around me. It's very thin, but like I kind of feel like I'm like doing a tour in Italy or something like that, like one of those.
There you go.
I picked the ugliest wallpaper in the world.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I got some stuff in the old truck. Leaves. Yep, this is the old truck. Maybe one day I'll get it running.
Wow.
Hopefully.
Hey,
but
if it takes you to point A to point B and then point B to point C, then.
Well, this one's pretty much dead till I get the engine in it.
Well, that always helps. Engines help.
I've been using this, as you probably know.
Oh yeah.
This is the old van. You can see I've been doing a lot of work, so it's full of junk. I got to clean it up. Got stuff I pulled out of offices, stuff, just all kinds of crap. My tools.
I used to sell stuff at the flea market, and that would have been perfect for that.
Yeah. It's a big
van. Most of the stuff I sold was like stuff you'd sell at a garage sale, but still, like I was actually thinking like investing and everything like that. There was a time I was going to invest in some things, have it shipped like in bulk, and just sell it, and that would be perfect.
And you can see what I use for normal transportation.
Yes, your bike machine.
Yep, this is from the trash. It's rigged. I had to make it fit a 6'6" guy because it's a little bit small otherwise. But it's holding up. And then this other bike my friend found at the dump. It keeps losing air. I don't know what's wrong with it. I got a hole in the tire. Who knows?
Yeah, my problem is every time I ride a bike, my feet fall off.
Well, thankfully I don't have that problem.
Yeah. Like not just my feet, but my whole shoe like comes right off. So I like have to get it off. So it's just like, okay, this is not worth it. Maybe later on I can figure out how to balance the shoe back on.
I'm getting.
Somebody told me it's the way I'm riding. Is the way I'm like have my feet on the pedals. So.
You got to find some kind of clamp or something to hold it on.
Yeah. Yeah,
you can
like
see
some kind of strap or something,
Getting a load of scrap ready to get rid of. A lot of junk.
Well,
here's one of my.
What's that old saying? One person's junk's another person's treasure.
This is one of my old containers. It's got rust because when it's on the engine, it got chipped. So this is now scrap.
Okay.
I'll have to keep my eye out in the yard sales for other ones. But
I mean, that's what makes that's why yard sales are so beautiful because you just never know what you're going to find.
That is true. There's nothing like getting a good surprise from the junk pile or from the yard sale.
Yeah. And when you find it for like a low price,
Yep. That's right. And you can see my yard here's some wild tomatoes. These are the Everglades tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
Little tiny ones. Problem is I got these 4 o'clocks that keep taking over. It's just, a little bit of gardening goes a long way around here. But yeah, this just kind of grew here. There's some weeds. I don't get that many weeds, though. When I had ducks, they used to eat all the weeds.
Right. Oh, yeah. I could see that.
That looks pretty good. Yeah, but yeah, that Everglades tomato is pretty resistant to disease. But they're little tiny ones, and they're a little bit bitter. So what I do with them, I make my friends a tomato sauce. I put them in a saltwater jar and let them ferment for a few weeks, and then turn them into a tomato sauce. This is a pineapple. I got a pineapple plant in here. It's a type of macadamia nut. This is my sour orange. coconuts, all kinds of stuff.
You got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
So,
I got.
so if you ever decided to change your mind and thought meat was bad for us, ha ha ha, you have all your food.
Well, that's true, except that this plant stuff tortures me. I get so sick so quickly. If I eat just a little bit of it, I'll be on the toilet in 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, there's some plants are okay for me or whatever, or at least don't. Let me rephrase that. At least don't bother me as much as other things.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, for me, it's just better to stay away from it. And
nope. Get. No. You're not.
All right. So we lost Rick. I'm gonna just kick that particular one from the studio. All right, so I'm not sure. Hopefully Rick will come back. It looks like Milton actually attacked him. I'm gonna actually put the link back in again. There's Rick again. Come on, why are you not? All right, so we lost you for just a couple of minutes.
I can tell you why. This is why.
Your attack you.
Yeah, he attacked.
There he is. Yeah, we saw the footage, so we have it on tape now. In case you need to take him to court or something. So.
Oh, this cat is too lovable. I can't get mad.
And we actually have two witnesses. We actually have Aaron and Sandy both saw it too. I think, unless one of them is hired by Milton not to say anything.
Well, Milton's a riot. I like him. He's so cute.
Yeah, I told you I had a black cat like him. So
you did.
They are.
He's going to pounce on me any minute now. Come on, little Milton. Come on, come and get it. He probably doesn't want to be cute. Everybody's watching you. Come here. Come on. He keeps looking at me like I'm going to jump on him. What are you waiting for?
When my cat was outside, I used to just take my fingers like this right on the side of the the siding from where I lived, and like within seconds he'd just come right up and just go right in the house and eat his meal. Like it was.
That's the way they are.
It was sort of like calling your dog,
Come on. He just keeps wanting to jump, but he doesn't do it.
I can turn that into a YouTube short, Thomas. What can I turn into a YouTube short? I'm not really sure. You're not talking about this because we've only been on for 38 minutes. And I think this month, I only had like 40 minutes left. So like I said before, if we go over, that's fine. I'll just figure it out.
Well, I'm surprised he's leaving me alone. Usually he'd jump on top of me by now.
Yeah, he's shy. He sees all these people watching him. So.
That's too funny.
It's like, no, they're going to notice me.
As if he hasn't been a celebrity since he was a kitten. I mean, from the day I got him, I put him online.
He's probably used to it by now.
I would think so. Because I think the first day that my neighbor found him, I put him online. I said, we got a new carnivore. I was here in the room, and I showed, video of him, and he's been here ever since.
You and him are like Bill and Daisy.
Yeah, except that people actually like Bill and Daisy, and for me, I think I'm more of an acquired taste because I'm not as popular.
Well, I think there's good reason of why people like Bill. I mean, that much of a weight loss is sort of like this, and he has such a, where he was stuck in his house and everything like that. So it's like sort of like that rooting for the, you're pretty much in good shape. So it's like there's, a little less rooting, It's like,
well, that's it. I think when it comes to the vegans, it's more like rooting for me to have that heart attack I've been talking about.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing, I think that's. I mean, sad thing enough is, you, me, and everybody on here. We all love Mitch. So we've always been, heart stroke or not, we all still will watch him. We're all still. But there's so many people that got added on that after he had the stroke, and it's like, you can't help but think that they're the same people that would be like sitting out front on their porch watching like ambulances go by to see who's like going to be, who's going to the hospital from a heart attack or something,
Right. Well, when I have my heart attack, then they can all make fun of me, if the vegans are still around, which they probably won't be. It'll be a new crop of vegans. They can say, that guy, he died at 94 of a heart attack. It was that carnivore diet that killed him. You shouldn't eat the carnivore diet because this is what's going to happen to you. He was out there chasing an iguana and he fell over and that was it. He was dead. And by the time the paramedics came, there was nothing they could do. And
Yeah,
that's
and
what
if
happens.
that happens, it's like, oh, it's the carnivore that did it. It has nothing to do with him falling over an iguana,
Well, it has nothing to do with being 94 years old and ready to die. It's more like the carnivore diet did it. But I tell my friends, my friends are actually changing their mind. I know with all the talk about diet, food, and all that lately. One of my good friends I've known for almost 40 years, he was telling me the last few days, because he has type 2 diabetes. He says, Rick, I'm eating more and more like you. Yeah, I'm being more and more like you every day, and I feel great. I said, I told you. Why did it take this long? He got rid of the sweet tea, got rid of the soda, got rid of the bread, got rid of the spaghetti, and, kept the meatballs. And I told him, get rid of the milk. You just shouldn't be drinking milk at your age. You're almost 70 years old. You should stop drinking milk when you're 20. Eat yogurt. Don't buy that store-bought yogurt. Get the plain yogurt. So he actually went to Aldi and got the plain yogurt. He says, I never used to like it, but now I'm starting to like it more and more. I said, the more meat you eat, the more your taste change. You're actually going to enjoy this. You won't even want that duck food anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think it is I think our brains, for the most part, we tend to think about punishment being a different way. And once we figure out that we're actually been punishing ourselves by giving ourselves the rewards of what we thought were rewards, that's sort of where I think that, that's where we change our habits, basically.
I'm going to start making yogurt. Let's see.
So Carrie Sue was asking, she was asking where you were sitting because she's never seen that backdrop before.
Oh, that's the living room. That's where I used to have all my videos. Back when, when I was first interviewed. That's my living room.
That's cool.
See how the water's boiling?
Yeah, I didn't think you lived out of your bedroom,
Nah, I got a whole house. But see, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in the goat milk powder.
Okay.
Put that in there. Make a mess in the process. Okay.
Do you find goat milk to be the best source for the yogurt?
They all work. It's just my friend gave me this. It was free. And see, then you just have to stir it up. Got to get the right amount.
For a while there, I was having goat milk in my coffee, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
It's kind of expensive, so.
That's good. See, I could put
now
more
I just
milk
drink
in
it
there.
black, so obviously black is a lot cheaper. But I have been every once in a while doing it Papa style with the butter and the bacon grease.
There you go.
He adds cream to his coffee to his thing too, but usually I just do the butter and the bacon grease.
Where is that stuff? See, a friend of mine had a bunch of these powdered milk packages from the pandemic. He was going to throw it away. I'm like, don't you dare throw it away. I use it for yogurt. Come on, Milton, get away from the refrigerator. What a silly pet. I wonder if I can set this up. Let's see. Okay. This selfie stick that I found. I don't know how you open this up. Oh, there we go. Looks like it's going to break, but all right, there we are. Okay, so we got our pot. Get some of that milk. Cut through this thing. Oh.
So Aaron was saying before about how my live didn't last for too long. Yeah, it's I think something's going on with the YouTube streaming. So I'm back on StreamYard.
I've had that happen before.
Aaron's asking if you can make the yogurt with cream.
Yes, you can. I've done it before. I've used half and half, cream, all kinds of stuff, whatever people give me. If there's lactose in it, you can make yogurt. I mean, some people even make yogurt out of, coconut milk, but that's not as good.
No.
It just needs the lactobacillus needs some sugar to eat. That's all.
Now, the thicker the cream, would it be like kind of like consistent with like Greek yogurt or anything like that?
Yes. Yes. The thicker the cream, the thicker the yogurt will be. And also, it has that extra fat, which adds to the flavor of the yogurt because the bacteria don't eat the fat; they eat the sugar. But the fat helps it get real nice and creamy. It's almost like sour cream if you do it right.
Okay.
So see now what I do to check the consistency, I'll take a spoonful of milk and pour it out and see the color. And you can see it looks pretty white. So that's got enough milk. Now all I got to do is get the jars ready.
Yeah, you got compared to me, you got a pretty clear picture there. Pretty nice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, like I said, I definitely have to get a new computer to get better crispness.
Oh.
I mean, what I have works, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be on here if it didn't, but it could be better. Put it that way.
It's just an iPhone 6. Where's my phone?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, like I said, this is I say 20 years, but it's probably even older than that.
You'll have to forgive me. I'll have to use a plastic funnel. My metal one is missing. So we just pour the hot milk into the container.
Nice.
All right.
Look at that, everybody. On my channel, you're learning how to make yogurt.
That's it. I got a little thing in there. Oh, got a little. Let me put a strainer in here. There might be a couple of chunks in there. So we'll go ahead and put the strainer in. There we go.
And Stanley, you didn't think we'd learn anything on my channel. Look at that.
Well, you're learning something always. On my channel, you learn what a total quack is like. The person you don't want to be.
And whenever we have Papa on there, then it's a double quack attack.
Well, that's true. And he likes to do those mobile videos as well. He does them either from home or work. He's over there out by the river or whatever that is, or he's over there at Macy's.
I didn't realize that Papa did any videos.
Yeah, well, he just goes on other people's channel. I don't think he makes his own.
That's what I mean. Okay, I just got a little confused for a second there because
But he's been.
I would be subscribed to his channel if I knew that,
Yeah. And see, I don't know if you can see these jars, but I filled like partially one. This one's full, and this one's full. So we'll put lids on these and let them sit there until it cools off.
Okay. And it gets a little bit more creamier and harder.
Well, you don't want to put the yogurt culture while it's hot or you'll kill it. So you just put that in there.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
Yeah. And then that way, give it about maybe 20, 30 minutes to cool off where you can handle it. Because right now, if you try to touch this jar, it burns your hands. So you want to let it sit there long enough.
Yeah, the hot milk and everything. I can see that.
A lot of times what people will do, they'll do it all in the pot. But I don't do that because then you could contaminate it with other bacteria and you can end up with some pretty unpleasant yogurt.
Right.
But
kind of like makes the problem.
Right. This way it's all in the pot. What, Milton? What? You got food? What's wrong with you? I gave you ground meat. Did you eat your ground meat? Let's see. No. Look, it's still there. Are you getting finicky, little killer? You silly puss. Okay. But yeah, I figured I'd make a little bit of yogurt because I'm down to my last half a jar. And I don't like to go. I mean, I can go a day without yogurt, but I do like having it.
So Terry Sue is asking a question. What have you found to be the best beef to use for jerky? I have a jerky setting on my Ninja AF air fryer, I guess, and I want to try someday. I'm guessing the connection of the question is with Booby Ghost because she had that as part of her thing on her channel today, where like, do we make have we ever made beef jerky? So I'm wondering if it's the connection between both of them, but I'm guessing she's asking you, because I never made beef jerky. So I'm guessing
I
the
don't
question
either.
is,
I don't like it. It's a little tough. It's not. I mean, most of the commercial beef jerky has flavorings, sugars, and stuff like that in it. I prefer
yeah,
to just cook the meat, or I will eat the meat raw. Sometimes what I'll do a marinade. So if I'm going to eat raw meat, which I do occasionally, I try to make it safer by putting it in the freezer. I typically freeze it for a month or more to try to kill off any parasites, any large parasites, if there ever were any in there, just like you do with
okay,
fish. And then when I thaw it out, I use either a sour orange, lime, or other kind of citrus that's acidic, and then I let it soak in there. And then what I'll do, I'll take the raw meat strips and I'll put them into a cooler. So basically with ice, and then it keeps it cold. So I like eating my raw meat cold. So instead of eating beef jerky, I like to eat raw meat strips. I also used to do that with raw liver, and that works out really well for me. It has a really nice flavor. I actually do like raw meat. I just don't eat it because I don't consider it to be safe. But instead of jerky, that's what I do. Now I also have done pemmican, which is basically meat cooked with a lot of fat. And the traditional pemmican has berries in it, which I don't like. So I just do that. I just cook the meat slowly in a crock pot with a bunch of beef tallow and then put that in the refrigerator, and that can last for months. I've had that stuff in the refrigerator for at least a couple of weeks, and I didn't get sick eating it. And in fact, I think you can actually store it at room temperature, but it's so hot and humid down here, I generally don't do that. I like to
right,
keep everything in the refrigerator. But
yeah.
if I go somewhere to eat, I just put it in the truck, and if it reaches room temperature, that's fine. What
I
is it,
mean, I
Milton?
could see that the humidity being kind of problematic
That's it.
for you. So it looks like I definitely went over the time, and I don't see anything so far. So, um, not that I mean, there is something. Then that's fine. We test it out, and I just pay the penalty and just deal with it.
Well,
Um,
the good the good thing is that now I know that my mobile setup is actually working. I put in these access points. In
yeah.
fact, I got one more to install in the backyard, and it should be over here. Now I have to walk slowly around my house because there's a lot of clutter in here. That's why I don't move that fast. But I do move fast outside. I'm also going to put up a big antenna so I can do a neighborhood tour. But I'll show you what I'm using. I got these old Cisco.
Which you sure gave us a tour already, but yeah,
See, I use these things.
yeah. I remember seeing them before.
Yeah, everything I have is old. What is it,
If
Milton?
old works, old works.
Clawing that. Okay. You silly little Milton. Milton is really funny. You got food. You just want to torture me. He just wants to be everywhere that I am. There's no place that he's going to let me relax and be safe. I'll just sit down here. And yeah, and then, oh, there he is.
Oh, okay. Aaron's saying that StreamYard will let you go over the time and they won't cut you off. Yeah. No, I figured they would let me keep on going. What I don't know is like if they're going to try to like charge me,
Right. Well, I mean, if they don't have your credit card, they can't charge you.
I don't think they do. I'm not sure. I don't know if I had to get it in order to join. I don't think I did. So
I never
we'll
I
find.
never buy anything online, and I do
Yeah.
have a credit
I mean,
card.
I
But
don't think you're absolutely right. I don't think I do. It's just, like I've been doing this for a couple months now, so I don't always remember everything. Like
right.
sometimes to put something in, you have, like even when something's free, it's like, well, we still need your credit card for ID purposes or something.
Yeah. I always put I don't have a credit card. Even though I do have one, I only use it for local. In fact, the credit card that I do have, I have it pretty much disabled, so nobody can buy anything online without a very
Right.
complex authentication process. I'm one of
Yeah, I
those
used
people
to do that too. Like just use a credit card I haven't had in like years, and like, okay, fine, take it.
The only reason I have it is because they pay me 2% back on anything that I spend. And when I buy a lot of meat or I have to buy supplies or whatever, I always do that, like business purposes. And then that way I can keep track of what I have when I have to do my taxes. Of course, at the end of the year, I end up spending as much as I make. So I haven't paid income taxes in a very long time because I've been surviving this whole time. But on the other hand, it's just convenient. You know, I don't have to worry. I had 20 bucks in my pocket and it fell out and I went crazy. I was upset over that for a while. I was trying to go to the store and buy some stuff.
Okay.
And it's like, it's just easier to get the card and go to the store and stick it in. And then I have a list. And then I can say, well, I spent this much money. But I don't buy online. I don't buy Amazon stuff because I don't like Jeff Bezos. And I think that, you know, a lot of these,
Yeah.
I don't really do any online shopping. I mean, occasionally.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
really
buy-
do Amazon that much either. The only time I did Amazon lately was because I did through Mitch. I actually bought a couple things through him. But yeah, and I mean, I bought things on Amazon, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I try to avoid it basically.
If I do buy anything on Amazon, I'll make sure I'll do it through Mitch so he can get a couple of pennies for his link because he deserves
that's
it.
why. In fact, I had one problem where I actually bought something. I bought like this one item. I don't know if it was actually from Mitch or from somebody else, but I bought this one item and it was supposed to come to my house, and it never came, and I was charged for it. And then also I get a note saying that they tried. It looked like they tried charging me twice because they're like, "Oh, your card bounced." I'm like, "Wait, I paid for it, so how could it have bounced? You know, like you took the payment, you know."
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, just cancel the order then and give me back my money, you know?
Like I tell everybody, the dumpster, the trash pile, and the canal are all free. And then as for the store, you know, it's between them and me. And that's it. Thankfully, I don't have to buy gas very often. I mean, once in a while, I'll have to get it. I had to buy $20 worth of gas last week to get stuff for my tools. But other than that, I don't pay for gas because I use the used seed oils. And my van is actually running off of diesel that I made about 2 years ago out of a mountain of plastic. So my expenses are low. I mean, once I move out of here and I got a place where it's not worth so much money, I don't have to pay $12,000 a year in property tax between a house and a lot. I'll be doing pretty good, you know. And plus, once I figure out what business I'm going to go in, I think compared to everybody else my age, I'm a lot more alert and a lot more adaptable. So once I'm in the right location, I think I will no longer be poor.
Yeah. And sometimes we, you know, in the situation that we're in, we don't realize that, you know, things aren't, you know, we think we're poor and stuff like that. And we are, but at the same time, it's like, you know, like life wasn't really that bad. You know, I had pretty good stuff, you know?
Well, stuff. I mean, I got more stuff than anybody could ever imagine.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like my life wasn't really, you know, like, so I didn't have some things that I wanted, you know, that didn't really.
Well, I got all the crap that I could ever want. The only thing
Right.
that I don't have is land. I want to live somewhere where I don't look at a million neighbors and a bunch of cars driving by, and when I go down the road, I don't have to look at the next ugly black, white, and gray apartment building that they've built or some stupid office that nobody's ever going to use.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the cow pastures, replace it with little micro houses. Nope.
So I'm going to ask you a very weird question, Rick. All right. I want to keep this going because I think it's pretty cool. But look who I'm asking this question to. I have to kind of make my roommate really quick breakfast, so it's going to be about 5 minutes or so. Would you be able to hold on the fort and look at the chats and answer any chats that anybody has?
Yeah.
You have a whole 3 people that you have to talk to.
Where are the chats in this thing? Let's see.
You should just be able to push comments if you're on. I don't know if you're on StreamYard or not, but just push comments.
Yeah.
And the chat will come right on the screen.
Yeah, but I just can't seem to respond. Oh well. You know what it is?
Respond with your voice. You don't actually have to post.
Yeah, it's not linked. It's not linked to the account. That's what it is.
Yeah. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I'm here. You know me. I'm always
okay,
around.
Cool. It'd be kind of interesting content, you know. Crick took over Tom's channel. All right, you're Terry, Sue, and Sandy. You're in Rick's hands.
I see it. I'm in the middle of 10 acres. Lots of privacy. There you go. Rick being forced to host. Yeah, what else is new, right? We got 3 people, 2 people. Doesn't say how many we have. That's the bad thing about StreamYard. Let me pull it up on my computer. This ought to be interesting. Oh, let's see. Yeah. Okay, where is... Yep, we got another one coming up here. Oh, 6 watching. Well, that's not bad. I figured I'd scare everybody away by now. This is let's see, what do I have on my channel here? Oh, okay. Trying to get this open. I don't know why it doesn't want to open it. What is this? Oh, let me try the history. I'll tell you one thing, the whole technology thing is a lot of fun for me. You might look at me and say, look at this guy, what he has for a phone, and he's playing with technology. That's all right. What do we got here? Okay. Yeah. When you go to Rick's place, you got all these lines here. You can put them on hold. Oh, looks like I got a problem with the system here, huh? Okay. That's not too bad. Well, where is... Oh, here we go. All right. This is it. All right. This is it. Okay, there we go. You can see how bad I look on camera. I guess I'm not too bad for someone that'll be 57 in a couple of weeks. That'll be good. But yeah, now I can see the chat a little better and I can respond when I need to because, yeah, there we go. I wonder if it's the encyclopedia. I'm going to show you. Let me show you what I got. We have a collection. We have the World Book Encyclopedia. But that's not all. We also have the World Book Children's Encyclopedia, which is somewhere hidden in here. We have the Funk and Wagnalls Encyclopedia. And in the other room, we have Encyclopedia Britannica. So that's it. Right, Milton? And don't touch it because every time you do, you knock me offline. This would be kind of like a tour. You remember that show, Masterpiece Theater? It's Masterpiece Theater with Milton, the cute little kitten. Yes, you are. Look at that cat. Yeah, more like Monster Piece Theater, like what is it? Cookie Monster. Well, I got all kinds of junk here. These are not actually glass panels; they're plastic. They were put here in the 1960s, late 60s, and here is the calendar. The day that we had Hurricane Andrew. I don't know if you can see that, but this calendar over here, August 23rd, 1992. It's been left open since we got whipped by that storm. Got all kinds of books and never know what you're going to find here. Got some old car catalogs and got some records. Oh, got a slide rule. Can't go wrong with that. People wonder, well, Rick, where do you find all this stuff from? Well, my show and tell comes from my house. And everything's just kind of stuffed in here. We got some old reel-to-reel tapes that go in that machine over there. And we have, what else do we have? What is this? Oh, these are phone holders. Got envelopes, little doodads. Got the little microphone thing. All kinds of interesting stuff. And of course, the place is full of junk. And everywhere you look, you're going to find a rotary phone because that is just the way it works here. See, I want to call somebody. I got all these lines to choose from. Dial the number. That's pretty good. And I got my usual piles of junk. I got a refrigerant recovery unit. I got one of these tire changers. I got some old printers, VCR. Got my little safe that I keep some tools in. Air conditioning goodies. There's a panel I pulled out of a job. There's stuff all over the place. I got architectural books and anything you can think of. Extra phones, got some weed eater parts. This isn't your typical house. I even got stuff for my bowling lanes. Got extra things for the payphone. Keep some tools here. I got my chop saw, and this is disaster. This is my storage area. This is the stuff I'm trying to go through. Look at all this junk. Everything from a catalytic converter to, car parts, the stethoscope, power supplies, even stuff for playing cards. Just junk, junk, junk. And I never bought a single one of these items. It's just stuff that I picked up from cleanouts. A lot of people that pay me to clean up their junk, and I end up junking up my own house. Right, Milton? Let me check on that yogurt, see how that's doing. Move it. No, don't attack me. Okay, so see, it's still a little hot. It's too hot to handle. So we're going to have to let that cool a little bit more. I give it another 10, 15 minutes. It'll be ready to add the yogurt culture. And then I incubate them here in the old 1959 oven. This is a gas oven. And by the way, there's rice in here. This is something I picked up from some clean out. It's sort of like a dehydrator, to keep things from getting too moist. But there's a pilot light in there in this old oven, and it keeps this around 100 degrees. So when you put it in there, if I put this in here by noon, by tomorrow noon, the yogurt will be ready. Right, little guy? Yeah, silly pet. So, no, stop that. I got the extra carburetors for my weed eater. I've been using the electric weed eater, though. But yeah, you never know what you're going to find around here. Junk telescope. I got a bunch of crap to get rid of. I actually found a couple of more of these handy phone patches that I use for my call-in. So I just love having all kinds of extra stuff. And I know people say, oh, Rick, you're a hoarder. You got tons of crap. Okay, fine. I got tons of crap. But the thing is, the difference between me and everybody else is everybody else has as much or more stuff. They just keep throwing it out. So instead of keeping it in their house and reusing it, they just take it to the landfill, load up the landfill with crap, and destroy the environment. I don't really think that's the way to go, at least in my opinion.
I'm back, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I see Keto Simple. Dustin's on the line.
All right.
Hey, Dustin. How you doing?
Hey. We love Dustin and his beautiful black cat.
You know what? And I'm going to post the link to the stream if anybody else wants to join in. So, anybody's welcome.
That's for Dustin.
Is that your guard? Your duck guard?
Well, that's the duck candle a friend of mine found at a yard sale. I'm not going to light it, but
I was going to say, obviously you haven't lit it because it would be a little.
Oh, okay. I thought Dustin had a black cat. Oh, well. Could be wrong. Somebody had a black cat.
If you want to think Dustin has a black cat, then I'm sure that won't bother Dustin any. He might think you're weird, but he'll just be like, okay. If you see a black cat.
Somebody had a black cat. I know.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. That Louis Rossman guy has a black cat, or a couple of them. He's popular. But I thought somebody in the carnivore space had a black cat besides me. Because I know Bill has Daisy, which is obviously not a black cat.
No. Well, what's funny is they say that, I don't know if you know this or not, but they say that black cats are supposed to be like unlucky, and ends up that's not true if you actually own the black cat. The black cat actually brings you good luck. If you own it.
I don't know. My luck doesn't change, but I'll tell you one thing. Out of all the cats I've ever had, the two black cats I've had were the most friendly, the smartest. And my original black cat, he used to defend me against bullies when I was a kid. That little guy was amazing. I'd never had a cat before. I didn't even like cats when I was younger because my mom's cat hated me. But this cat, where is the picture of him? Here we go. This is my first black cat.
That's cute. Look how little he is. Oh.
Wow. It's pretty amazing. And he was still young. He was about maybe Milton's age back then, but you could see what I look like.
Yeah. Looks like Rick cut out for just a couple seconds. So it looks like Sandy and Aaron both have black cats. It's funny, like how Rick never cut out when he was like walking around his yard and or anything like that, but then he's inside his house and that's where he cuts out. So Dustin, when you came on, did you think you were on with Rick's channel since I was gone for a couple of minutes? Oh, so you do have a black cat then? Yeah, I keep her away from. If she beats them up, that's probably true. Okay. But were you still confused though when you didn't see me? Don't tell Rick. I won't tell him. I guess he's out all the way. Just in case, I'll put the link back in. Anybody else can join in too. I mean, I'm probably not going to stay on much longer, but I actually left to make my. I already had my steak before, but to make. Oh, okay. No, I actually, I cook breakfast and dinner for my roommate, and it's pretty much after 11. So even though he's not fully awake yet, I figure I'd make him breakfast so that when he gets up, he can just heat it in the microwave. So I just made him some bacon and some eggs and sausage, basically, just really quick. It's funny how people say about how cooking. It's easier just to make cereal and stuff like that. But I actually find just if you clean as you go along, there's no reason why cooking can't be easy to do. I'm actually from New Jersey, Dustin. I don't know if you know anything about the shore, but I actually live over by Asbury Park, Point Pleasant, all those areas. I live in a place called Wall Township, which is near Belmar. It's sort of a long story, Sandy, but basically, it's not available anymore. So it has nothing to do with my capabilities. It just has to do with my availabilities. But problem might be, hopefully, just cross your fingers. I might be able to get the job at the Quick Check that didn't want to hire me at first. But unfortunately for them, they're losing a lot of employees. So they're a little bit more desperate, and I might be able to just get a job here and not have to worry about the traveling. No need to apologize, Sandy. It's nothing. I mean, the only thing I was really, really worried, I'm not really worried about not working. It gave me something to do. It gave me a sense of purpose, so to speak. And because I actually make enough with the rent I get and also from my disability Social Security to pay the bills, pretty much on a stream level. But I just want to have some extra to be able to get better food, like more steaks basically, and also to save for the Boston trip and all that stuff, and also to save for a car. I mean, eventually I do want to get off of the disability and just live like any typical 52-year-old man, Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, that's why I'm like trying to think of like different things I want to do when I do finally retire. I found out that retirement's a little bit older now than it used to be. I knew it used to be 65 now, and early retirement 62, but now I'm finding out that by the time I actually retire, it might be 70. So, which I'm fine with. I always wanted to wait until 70 anyway. And the good thing about it too, Sandy, is, you think about it, it's, you think to yourself, like, you don't realize it, but you're like, when you have that little extra, you're like, oh, today I could buy that ribeye. I have that little extra fund or whatever. Or I can take myself, go to the beach and enjoy. You don't think of the little things that little extra money can actually help you with. I mean, luckily today I am going to actually do an Uber tonight to the other job because I told them all about it, and she understands, but just so then she doesn't have to just so she doesn't have to basically wait or anything like that. She has like the whole week to get some people to fill in. I figure I will work today, I'll take the Uber tonight, and then there'd be about $50 for me to take the Uber for the one day. So I figure. Okay, so Dustin, I'm 45. I may never be able to retire or get benefits, but I'm sort of already retired. I'm looking for a job through finding one that pays enough for the work they want you to do. Yeah, well, that's true. You're pretty young there, Dustin. Yeah, if they keep on pushing it back. I mean, that's why I think it's 70 for me. It's probably about the same for you too. I know I said you're young, but you're not that much younger than I am. I have about 7.5, 8 years on you, I think. Yeah, that's true, Sandy. It's the routine. It's like, getting up, having a place to go, having a purpose of doing everything. Yeah. Hey, I think by the time my niece and nephew are of that age, Dustin, I think it's going to be like pretty much non-existent. I really do. The way it's going, I think they're purposely backing up more and more because, do you really think that there's people that are going to be retiring at 70? Like, we got to make room for the young people. So that's why people do retire. So then that way jobs can be opened up. No, I mean, the only thing with that though, Sandy, is I mean, it's all about the purpose and everything like that. But I mean, there probably are ways of having your purpose. Yeah, now people are actually making it that long. So you're absolutely right, Dustin. So I guess Rick's not coming back. So I'm going to just make one more attempt and put the post in. One more time. And then, like I said, if anybody wants to join in and say hello, you guys are more than welcome, as always. It's one of the reasons why I do StreamYard, because unfortunately I can't figure out how to do it through the YouTube. And it says 8 people are in the chats, or in the, watching, but I only see comments from Sandy and Dustin so far. So did we lose everybody else? And okay, so that's to ask, how do you guys like this, like, relaxed live type thing? Oh, Terry Sue's still here. Good. So how do you guys like this relaxed live setup? eView Mux? Okay, I'll have to look that up. I'll do that. I'll probably do that either tomorrow or it gives me a little bit of time. It's not as user friendly as StreamYard. Okay. Well, I'll still look it up and stuff. So it looks like we just increased on the watcher count. Not sure who just came in, but you know. Cleaning my room. I got inspired. Relax. Random lives are cool, but we don't always catch them. I know. I'm just trying to figure out different things. Normally I try to announce them, but in this particular case, I was testing out. The reason why I have a couple lives because I was testing them on YouTube, and then I had a problem with streaming. And at first I thought it was me, but it happened on this computer, which the fact is I'm able to talk to you guys now. So it really shouldn't be the Wi-Fi on the computer and my phone. So I think it's something with YouTube, to be honest with you. Hey Jackie, how you doing? So you just popped in to say hey ton? Is that a reference to how big I am or what? Yeah, it's hard to kind of keep a track of all the lives. You know, you kind of have to prioritize, I guess you could say. You're going to be live at 6 p.m. tonight? All right. I may or may not see it because I work tonight from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So there's rolling the dice of whether or not I'll be asleep still. That is true, Terry. That's fine, Jackie. I'm not wearing my glasses right now either, so. Of course, I don't wear them to do this stuff. It's more for long distance anyway. You have a good day too, Dustin. I do appreciate you coming by and saying hello and chatting with us. And if I don't see you, good luck with your live tonight. Okay, yes, I figured something like that happened. I was saying that it was kind of funny how when you're walking around the yard, you didn't really have any problems, and it's while you're in the house nearer to the connections, that's when it happened. But yeah, we figure, at least I did. We figured that there was something with the Wi-Fi. So, I mean, Rick, if you want to come back on, you're more than welcome. It's not, then I'm probably going to actually end this soon. And I'll be able to tell you what happens. I mean, I think Aaron might be right. You know, I don't think much will happen. In worst case scenario, if I have to renew, if I used up all my hours, and I'll probably like come up and say like, you know, to pay, you know, and I just have to make a decision whether or not I want to upgrade or not. You know, I mean, upgrading, it sounds expensive, but also sounds like it, you know, because if it gives me unlimited time, then it might be worth it. Like sort of worth investing in my YouTube future, so to speak. I don't know. It's all experimental. It always is. Sometimes you gotta spend money to make money, but you know, it's not that I will be making much money, but if it helps my content, then that's all right, Terry. Well, good luck. Don't miss the oven when you throw the bacon in there, okay? And make sure you open the door first so then it gets in better. Yeah, because I've done that before. You know, like I forget to open the oven door and then wonder why the food won't go inside. So, I mean, I think there are worse ways of waking up for Terry Sue's mom if bacon, you know, is the way she's waking up. You know, like I wouldn't mind waking up that way. I haven't done them in a while, Jackie. I'll be honest with you. Pretty much ever since I started working, I haven't really done too many push-ups. I guess I should do an update video and just see how I'm doing, but it's probably not much different. You're looking for your painting overalls. Okay. Well, I mean, let's see. I had to take my shoes off, but let's see if you guys can see me from the angle of the camera. Just up. All right, so there's the floor right there. Sorry about the mess. And I got my vibration plate right there. Move that out of the way. Like I said, it's been a while. All right, can you guys see me? Okay. So I had to bend my knees. I can't do it with my legs up. So let me see how many I can do. 1, 2. Okay, so I did 10. hopefully I could probably do a little bit more, but I kind of busted my shoulder too. It's always something. Yeah, I saw that thing, with that, it looks like almost like a castle or something like that, Aaron. So did they look okay? Thank you. I mean, there was a time I could probably do better. There was a time like my niece or nephew would actually sit on my back while doing them. So there was a time I could do like pretty good push-ups. But unfortunately, you get sick and things change. But now I'm on the verge of getting better. I'm going up the mountain rather than down the mountain. It's funny, Aaron, you said you didn't really have any talent with art or anything like that, but I think that's pretty cool what you did with the room and everything. So I think you have a lot more talent than you actually give yourself credit for. Now, do you often hear wild turkeys outside your window, Sandy, or is this just a dream like my Teddy Graham's dream? Yeah, the only thing is though, I can't with the way my legs are. I don't know. It just feels weird. It's hard for me to do like a plank type setup. So I do have to kind of do it with my knees bent. And I do a lot of I say I don't do push-ups on the ground, but I do where I work. I actually angle myself and I actually do push-ups at the counter during like while I'm resting or whatever. So it looks like we lost a few viewers, which is fine. That happens, right? Sure, that happens to all of us. My awesomeness, blinds people to be able to fully watch. So you're hearing wild turkeys too, huh, Aaron? I would figure that would be more of like a Thanksgiving thing, but maybe it's possible even now. Yeah, I knew they fly. The other day, I was actually out in the park, and there was like about 5 or 6 turkey vultures flying overhead. Well, that's why they're coming to you, Sandy, because you're calling them out. And lucky for me, the turkey vultures weren't after me. They must have been after something else because. I would think that would scare. Yeah, I mean, if one flew right into your truck, that would scare me too, Jackie. Wow. That's all I have to say to that, Jackie. Wow. Holy. All right. Well, I could keep this going and going and going. I got to update on my van. It's being fumigated, and ServPro is going to clean it out. When I get it back, it's going to be like a brand new. Yeah, that sounds cool. Now, who do you think would have been more scared, Jackie, you or the turkey vulture? All right, Aaron. I'll see you later on. Like I said, I'm gonna cut this out. I do appreciate everybody coming on. All right. Everybody have a good day, and I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee real quick, and then I'm going to go take a nap. I know coffee doesn't really help you with napping, but it's just that my end of the day type thing. So, and I'm going to take a nap for a few hours. All right. So everybody have a good day, and I will see you guys soon. All right. Thank you again for coming. I do appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye.